In a world where trouble don't knock before it kicks the door in, the folks with sense keep a piece close and their heads on straight. A solid self-defense handgun ain't just a tool. It's your insurance policy when life takes a hard left. That blink between calm and chaos don't leave room for fumbles or stovepipes. What you carry says plenty. And when the day turns south, it better say dependable. This here list ain't for range heroes or weekend commandos playing dress up. It's built off real-world carry habits, hard-earned trust, and tens of thousands of rounds fired in the dirt. From heavy-hitting steel to feather-light polymer rigs, each one of these has earned its stripes by putting in work, not just looking good in some glossy ad. Skip the sales pitch and the keyboard commandos. This is the straight, no-nonsense lineup of what Americans actually trust to keep them alive, within the law and ready for whatever. These are the sidearms folks don't leave home without when it all starts going sideways. This time, we're looking at 12 deep. 12 handguns that keep showing up in holsters from the backwoods to the back alleys for damn good reason. Let's run through them and see which ones are leading the charge. This one right here is what I'd call a crowd pleaser with some brains behind it. The Shield Easy ain't out here trying to look tactical or brag about how many rounds it holds. It was built for one thing, and by God, it nails it: accessibility. Whether you're brand spanking new to handguns or your hands don't work like they used to, and racking a slide feels like wrestling barbed wire, this pistol makes life a whole lot simpler without giving up an ounce of reliability. The Easy ain't just a marketing gimmick either. It's easy to rack, easy to load, easy to clean. Comes in both 380 ACP and 9mm flavors, with a soft recoil spring and a nice light trigger pull. Capacity sits at 8+1 in the 9mm version, which is plenty respectable for a slim little carry gun. Barrel length's just over 3.5 inches, so it tucks up nice under a t-shirt or hoodie without printing like a trouble don't knock before it kicks the door in. Not striker, folks with sense keep the trigger close, smoother and steadier pull straight than you'd expect from something. A solid self-defense handgun comes with a grip safety and an optional thumb safety. It's your insurance policy folks who want a little extra hard left. Not everybody's looking to carry some hot rod race gun. Don't leave room for fumbles. This one's comfortable, forgiving, what you carry don't feel like a toy. And when the day turns south, I recommend it to first-time gun buyers all the time. This here list and a whole mess of old-timer weekend commandos pistol that runs without fussing over it and built like real-world carry habits. If what you care about most is ease of use over pure horsepower, from heavy-hitting steel to feather-light polymer choices you can make. Each one of these now we're talking Eastern European precision, not just looking good. The CZ P10 C is one of those sleeper hits folks don't truly appreciate the keyboard commando until they squeeze off a few rounds. This is the straight, no-nonsense it's a striker-fired Americans actually trust to keep them alive, +1 capacity within the law and a trigger that just might make your Glock feel a little insecure. These are the sidearms folks don't leave home right at 4 inches when it all starts going sideways. Feels balanced, like it was born to ride on your hip. We're looking at 12 down. 12 really sets the P10 showing up holsters from the back break to the back alley short damn good reason. It gives you that satisfying little which ones are leading the go time. This one right here is what I call a crowd pleaser with some brains behind it. Grip texture's dead on. The Shield Easy ain't out here not too rough like a cheese grater or brag about how many rounds it holds. For sweaty palms or gloved hands. It was built for one thing. And by God, only it nails it. CZ ain't exactly taking over the aftermarket. Whether you're brand spanking like new to handguns or your holsters and red dot mounts might take a little racking a slide feels like wrestling. But if you're willing to spend 5 minutes, this pistol makes life a whole grabbing whatever's hanging on the wall at your local shop. You'll be glad you did. Easy ain't just a marketing gimmick either. The P10 C feels like the Glock 19's better mannered cousin. Easy to clean, more bite. Comes in once you get it on the range. ACP don't be surprised if it becomes your new everyday favorite. Recoil spring and a nice first light time I grabbed hold of the PDP, capacity sits at 8+1. Damn, that grip feels like somebody actually gave a damn. For a slim little Walther didn't cut corners on this. Barrel length's just over 3.5 so it tucks up nice +1 capacity hoodie and comes with barrel length starting right around 4 inches. It's hammer fired, not striker. This rig's all about control and comfort, smoother, steadier pull than you'd expect really shines from something that performance duty trigger. Comes with a grip safety and an optional thumb safety too, for folks who want a little extra peace of mind. Just more brochure talk. Not everybody's looking to carry some hot rod race gun. This one's comfortable, resets fast, and don't feel like a toy. Gives you that steady confidence. Truth is, running drills. I recommend it to first-time gun buyers trusting it early on. And a whole mess of old-timers guns who just want out of the box that runs without fussing over it and end up liking it too. Serrations are deep and sharp. If what you care about most checks and slide racks over pure horsepower, even when your hands are slick, flat out one of the smartest choices you can make. And Walther's now we're talking Eastern European boys in the dust. The CZ real drawback is one of those sleeper types folks don't truly appreciate if you dress light until they squeeze off. But as a do-it-all sidearm home defense, it's a striker-fired compact or open carry with a straight-up workhorse capacity. Let's call it like it is. The P320 little didn't just show up. Barrel runs right at 4 inches, and the whole piece feels everyday shooters like it was born to ride on your contract from sun up rig went from rookie to top dog. But really sets the P10 C apart, chambered in 9mm with a 17+1 capacity. It gives you that satisfying little click. It brings both firepower and flexibility without making you second guess your finger can't touch. Grip texture is dead on. The fire control unit's the serialized part, but grippy enough for sweaty palms. That means you can legally and easily swap slides. Grip modules. Even exactly taken over the aftermarket. Pretty much build yourself a whole new setup whenever the holsters and red dot mounts might take a little hunting. A mess of configurations. But if you're willing to spend 5 minutes searching the feds instead of just grabbing whatever's hanging on the wall from your local shop, but with the right upgrade. Bottom line, the P10 C feels like the Glock 19's better mannered natural, especially for folks who know striker-fired guns. And once you get it on the range, more wiggle room. Don't be surprised if it becomes your new everyday favorite. It ain't the smallest rig. First time I grabbed hold of what it lacks in low profile, I flat out said it makes up for with straight shootability. Like somebody actually gave a damn. This is the kind of sidearm that feels right at home. Chambered in 9mm on your belt, runs at 15+1 capacity. The P320 comes with barrel length, just riding right around 4 inches, taking the wheel. This rig's all about control and another plastic pistol. No fluff. It's a modular workhorse that performance who live in the real world and need options that actually matter. Yeah, ever pick up a handgun and wonder, how the hell did they cram that much firepower into something this small? It breaks clean, resets fast, the Hellcat, and gives you that steady Springfield's when you're running drills to the concealed carry shootout. You start trusting it early on, looking for a scrap. And with striker-fired guns straight out of the box, an 11+1 base mag and a 13-round serrations are deep and sharp. It brings the heat without hogging up your waist solid. Even when your hands are 3 inches and the whole frame optic ready too, like it was meant. Walther's mountain system leaves most of the big boys in the middle ground tacky enough to stay drawback is it's a touch but not so right concealed carry your hands, especially if you dress light. And that flat face trigger, but as a do-it-all sidearm home defense to a match, range time, but a whole lot better than what you'd expect from a pistol this size. Let's call it like it is. One thing I'll give high marks for is the sight show up. It flat out stormed the gates. U-notch rear, easy to pick up. Everyday shooters, even when you're big military contracts, this rig went from rookie to top dog in no time flat. So if you're looking to slap a red dot on top with a 17+1 capacity and a full-size trim, sure, it's a bit snappier. It brings both firepower and flexibility in a way most pistols just can't touch. And when it comes to concealment, this thing's fire control unit's the serialized no part, sweat, not the frame. Light jacket, that means you can legally and easily swap slides. Yeah, I get modules. Even Taurus used to be the punchline. Pretty much build yourself a whole new setup whenever the mood strikes. The G3C flip one pistol. This ain't your old man's rattle trap budget. No need to dance with the feds every time. It's a compact 9mm. The trigger runs clean from the capacity. But with the right 1/5-inch barrel, it turns downright and shockingly good ergonomics. Recoils light, and usually runs feels natural dinner for two at folks who know striker-fired guns. The trigger want more wiggle room to make it their own. Bit of take-up, sure. But it breaks clean. The smallest has restrike capability, but what it lacks in low profile in a carry piece, it makes up for with straight shootability and flat-out versatility. But for a budget-friendly, this is the kind of sidearm that feels right more than enough to bet your hide on. Whether it's on your belt, grip texture's aggressive in a good way. The P320 without eating it riding shotgun. The G3C don't need a bunch of hype. This ain't just another plastic pistol. It's a modular workhorse built for folks who live in the real world and need options that actually matter at the trigger. Ever pick up hundreds of rounds and it stays steady? How the hell did they cram that tougher than you'd expect off something this pricier pistols to shame? That's the Hellcat. It's not going to win a beauty pageant or stop traffic answer, but it shows up, does its job, and doesn't ask for much in return. Chambered it rides easy, runs 11+1 base, and leaves you more coin for the stuff that really counts ammo. It brings the heat without hogging up your waistband. Just a solid side barrel's just over 3 inches, and the whole frame a full-size duty pistol with a clean trigger, solid mag grip texture nails that middle ground. And you ain't looking to sell a kidney for it? Then yeah, not so rough. The Canik tears up your 9SF might just be your next go trigger. Not something
This
you
striker
take to
fired
a match,
bruiser out of
but a
Turkey
whole lot
brings
better
an
than what you'd
18
expect
plus
from
one
a pistol
capacity.
this size. A crisp 4 1/2
One thing I'll
barrel
give high marks for
and
is
the
the
kind of
sight
out of the
setup.
box accuracy.
Bright front
that'll make you
two-notch
forget
rear,
costs
easy to
less
pick
than
up,
$400,
even when your
pulse is spiked.
You even get a few
And
extras tossed
its
in
optics
like a
ready.
decent holster.
So
And
if
some
you're looking
cleaning
to
gear
slap a
stuff,
red dot
those
on
brands
top,
would charge you
you
double.
won't need
for
a
it.
gunsmith
Then act
or a
like
prayer.
they did you a favor.
Sure, it's a bit
Now the
snappier
trigger,
than a full size.
that's where Canik really
with
shows
a solid
off.
grip. It's
Brakes
plenty
clean,
controllable,
resets quick,
and when it comes
and
to
feels like
concealment,
something you'd only find
this
on
thing's a
pistols
ghost.
twice the price.
T-shirt, no sweat.
It's the kind of
light
rig
jacket
that'll make your
it
buddy
flat out
stop
vanishes.
mid-draw at the range. Like,
I
hold
get
up.
it. You paid what
Taurus
for that?
used to be the punchline of
Now,
every joke
it's got
in
its
the gun
quirks.
crowd. But
This
here's
ain't
the
a
thing.
minimalist
The
cherry
G3C
piece.
flipped the script.
It's got full duty
This
size
ain't your
stamped
old
all
man's
over
rattle
it,
trap
not made for
budget
deep
blaster.
concealment. Unless
It's a
you're built like a
compact
9mm,
9mm,
sporting a
12
trench
plus
coat,
one
like
capacity.
it's 1995.
The short 3 1/5 inch
throw it in the
barrel,
right rig,
and shockingly
double
good
duty without
ergonomics for
breaking
a
a
pistol
sweat.
that usually runs
Rock
cheaper
solid on
than
the
dinner
nightstand,
for two at a
reliable
halfway
as hell on the
decent
firing
steakhouse.
line,
And
the
carry
trigger,
capable if you
it's
set it
decent.
up proper. Bit of take-up.
Truth
sure.
is, the
But it breaks
TP9
clean
SF
and even has
punches
way
strike
above its
capability,
weight.
something some
If
folks
Glock and
actually
CZ
like.
had a
Carry
wild
piece.
kid who likes
It's
strutting
not
around on a
match grade
budget,
by any stretch.
this would be the one.
But for a budget-friendly
If German
concealed
engineering
carry
ever
option,
had a
it's
poster
more than
child
enough
for
to bet your
striker-fired
hide on.
pistols,
It'd
grip
be the
texture's
HK
aggressive in a
VP9.
good way, sticks to your palm
This
without
thing's
eating
like
it
the
alive.
Audi of carry guns.
The
sleek,
G3C
dead on,
don't need a
and
bunch
smooth
of hype
as all get out.
It just works.
Chambered in 9mm,
it ain't
with
got
a
the name
15 plus one
recognition of a
capacity
Glock,
and a 4
but it
1/10
proves
inch
itself
barrel
where it matters.
The
At the
VP9
trigger.
brings high-end
Run
quality
through
right to
hundreds
your
of
hands,
rounds
and it stays
straight
steady,
out of the box.
smooth, no tuning,
and tougher than you'd
no
expect,
upgrades,
often putting
just load it
pricier
up
pistols
and roll.
to shame.
Where
It's
it
not
really
going to win a
earns
beauty
its keep
pageant
is in
or
the
stop
grip.
traffic.
Ergonomics
But it shows
on
up,
this thing
does
are
its
next
job,
level.
and doesn't ask for much in
back
return.
straps and side panels
It rides
let you
easy,
fit it like
runs
a custom-made
clean,
glove,
and
not
leaves you
just
more
for looks,
coin for the
but
stuff
for real
that really
feel.
counts ammo. Then there's
No
the
frills,
trigger, no flex,
clean break, solid
just a
wall,
solid sidearm
and a
that's
reset
there when
that's
you
short
need it most.
without getting
You
jumped.
want a full-size
Now
duty
let's not
pistol
kid ourselves.
with a clean trigger.
It's a bit on the
solid
bigger
mag
side for
capacity,
everyday carry,
and you
unless
ain't
you're
looking to
truly
sell
committed.
a kidney for it. And that panel
Then,
mag release
the
might
Canik
throw off folks who
TP9
grew up on
SF
button
might
drops.
just be your next go-to.
But once you get used to it, this striker fired bruiser out of Turkey.
Add
Brings
to
an
that
18
the fact that
plus
the
one
VP9's
capacity
been run by elite
across
law enforcement
4 1/2
and military
barrel,
outfits all
and the
across
kind of
Europe.
out-of-the-box
And those fellas
accuracy
don't play games.
It'll make you forget it costs
So
less than $400.
it runs
bucks.
steeper than your run-of-the-mill
You
polymer
even get a
pistol,
few extras
but
tossed
it earns
in like
every
a decent
last
holster.
penny.
And some
If
cleaning
you're
gear
after
stuff
top shelf
most brands
performance
would charge
without
you
the
double
headache,
for. This is the
then
one.
act like they did you a favor.
If there's one pistol
Now
that
the
made the
trigger,
old timers pause
that's where Canik
mid-sentence
really
and
shows
go,
off.
Hold up.
Brakes clean,
What's that little
resets
thing
quick,
carrying?
and feels like something
It's
you'd
the
only find on
SIG
pistols twice the price.
P10
It's the kind
This
of
little
rig
rig
that'll
didn't
make
just
your
nudge
buddy
the
stop
concealed
mid-draw
carry
at the
game.
range like
It flat out
Hold up.
body
You
slammed
paid what
the
for
old
that?
rules.
Now,
Before
it's
it
got
showed
its
up,
quirks.
the rule of thumb was
This ain't a
simple.
minimalist carry
Small
piece.
gun. It's got
Equals
full
low
duty
capacity.
size stamped all over it. You
Not
want
made
a double
for deep
digit
concealment.
Unless
Well,
you're built like a
you were
grizzly
carrying a
or
brick
sporting a
and
trench
just had
coat
to live
like
with
it's
it.
1995. SIG looked
throw
at
it in the right
nonsense
rig,
square in
and
the
it does
eye
double duty
and
without
said,
breaking a sweat.
Nope. Rock solid on the
What they
nightstand.
gave us was a
reliable as
micro
hell on the
compact,
firing line.
chambered
Carry
in
9mm
9mm
if you set it up
10
proper.
plus one capacity.
Truth is,
and
the
it still fits
TP9
right in the
SF
palm of your
punches
hand.
way above its weight. Barrel's right.
If
at
Glock
3
and CZ
1/10
had a
inches,
wild kid
and it weighs
who likes
just under
strutting around on
18
a budget,
ounces empty, this would be the one.
It rides light.
If
Vanishes
German
under a
engineering
flannel,
ever had
and
a
still
poster
shoots like a
child for
full-size
striker-fired
when you square
pistols,
up behind
it'd
it.
be the HK
The grip,
VP9. Surprisingly comfy
This
for
thing's
how
like
short
the
it
Audi
is.
of carry guns,
And
sleek,
the trigger, dead on,
clean
and
as you'd
smooth
hope
as
for a
all
striker-fired pocket
chambered
pistol.
in 9mm
Snappy
with a
recoil?
15 plus one capacity and a 4
But
1/10
nothing a little
inch
range
barrel.
time won't
The
handle.
VP9 brings
And here's
high-end
where it
quality
really
right
gets
to your
wild.
hands,
There's
straight
a
out of
whole
the box.
ecosystem behind
No
it.
tuning, no
Red
upgrades,
dots, night
just
sights,
loaded up
compensators.
and roll. You name
Where
it.
it really earns its
SIG
keep is in
built
the
out
grip.
the options.
Turn
Ergonomics
this
on this
thing
thing
into
are
a
next
full-on
level.
platform.
Not just
Swappable
another
back
micro
straps and
carry
side
piece.
panels let you fit it like
Now
a
here's the
custom-made
kicker.
glove.
Not just
when
for
a
looks,
pistol makes
but
died
for
in the
real
wool
feel.
Glock.
Folks switch
Then there's
up the
their
trigger.
everyday carry.
You know
Clean
it
break,
struck a
solid
chord.
wall, but
And a
even with
reset
all
that's
that that
short
praise
without getting jumped.
There's still one
Now, let's
sidearm
not kid
that
ourselves.
outruns it in
It's
the
a bit
long
on the
haul,
bigger side
one
for
that just
everyday
won't
carry
give up
unless
the
you're
crown.
truly committed.
So let's quit
And that
beating
paddle
around
mag
the
release
bush
might
and
throw
say it
off
plain.
folks who grew up on button
This here's
drops.
the undisputed
But once you
heavyweight,
get used
a
to it,
reliable
it's
carry.
slicker than you'd
Yeah,
expect.
you knew this was coming.
Add to that,
It's like ranking the best
BP9's
pickup
been run by
trucks and
elite law
pretending the
enforcement
F-150
and military
ain't
outfits
sitting
all
at the
across
top.
Europe. And those
The Glock
fellas don't play
19
games.
is the poster child for
So yeah,
reliable. It runs
do it
steeper
all
than your
sidearms
run-of-the-mill
and for
polymer
damn
pistol.
good reason.
but it earns
It's
every
been the
last
go-to
penny for lawmen. If you're
everyday
after top-shelf performance
weekend
without the
range
headache,
hands,
this is the one.
For decades now,
If there's one
pistol
pistol that
runs
made
like
the
a
old
damn
timers
champ.
pause mid-sentence and
You're
go,
getting a
hold up,
compact frame.
what's that
with a
little thing
4.02
carrying?
2-inch barrel.
It's the
and a 15 plus one
SIG
capacity,
P365,
all chambered in
This
9
little
millimeter.
rig didn't just
It's
nudge
striker
the
fired
concealed
with a
carry
trigger
game.
that ain't exactly
It flat out
buttery,
body
but
slammed
it's steady,
the old
predictable.
rules. And when you
Before it
press
showed
that
up,
trigger, the rule of thumb
it just
was
goes
simple.
rain,
Mud,
small gun,
sand
equals low capacity.
It eats it all and comes
want it
back
double
asking
digits?
for more.
Well,
I've
you
seen
were carrying
Glocks
a
run
brick
thousands
and
of
just
rounds
had to live with it.
without even blinking. SIG looked
And
that
I ain't
nonsense
talking about
square
those
in the
internet
eye
torture
and said,
tests.
Nope, I'm talking real-world
What they
beatings,
gave us
and
was
it
a
keeps
micro
kicking.
compact.
Chambered
One
in
big
9
reason the
millimeter
Glock
with a
19
10
still
plus
owns the
1
game
capacity is
and
the
it still fits
aftermarket.
right in the palm of your
You
hand.
can turn this thing into whatever
Barrel's
the hell
right
you
at
want.
3 1/10 inches.
New slide,
and it weighs
new
just
barrel,
under 18
new
ounces
trigger,
empty.
optic cut,
It rides light,
laser,
vanishes under a
stipple job,
flannel,
and
the
still
whole
shoots
9
like
yards.
a full size when you
Or leave
square
it
up
bone
behind
stock,
it.
and it
The
still
grip,
holds its own like
surprisingly comfy for how
Folks
short
love
it
to
is.
hate on it,
And the
it's
trigger,
everywhere.
clean as
But
you
that don't
hope
mean
for a
it's dull.
striker-fired pocket
It
pistol.
means it's trusted.
Snappy recoil.
When someone asks me what pistol
But
they
nothing
ought
a
to
little
buy,
range
they can
time
only
won't
pick
handle.
one.
And here's where it
This
really
is what
gets
I
wild.
handle. It ain't
There's a
flashy,
whole ecosystem
but it
behind
don't
it.
ever let you down.
Red dots, night
That's
sights,
why it's the king.
compensators. You name it.
All right, boys.
SIG built out
covered
the
the
heavy
options,
hitters,
the
turned
quiet
this thing
killers,
into a full-on
and even a
platform.
couple pistols
Not
that'll
just
earn you
another
side-eye
micro-carry
from the
piece.
Gucci gun crowd.
Now here's
But
the
kicker.
truth. When a pistol
Every
makes
one of
dyed
these
in the
sidearms
wool block,
earned its place the
folks
hard
switch
way.
up their everyday carry.
Not with
You know
glossy
it struck a
ads or
chord.
tactical LARPing,
But even with
but
all
with
that
grit,
praise,
trust, and
there's
carrying
still
through the
one
dirt.
sidearm that outruns
From the
it
Glock
in the long
19's
haul,
plane,
one that
Jane
just won't give up the crown.
to the P365's
So let's quit
game
beating around the
pocket
bush
power.
and say it plain.
These are the tools folks
This here's
actually
the
strap
undisputed
on when
heavyweight
the world
of
goes
reliable
sideways.
carry. Maybe
Yeah,
you're
you
a
knew this
revolver
was
type.
coming.
Maybe
It's
you
like
swear
ranking
by
the
appendix
best pickup
carry.
trucks and pretending
Either
the
way,
F-150
the goal's the
ain't
same.
sitting at the top.
Be ready, be
The
trained,
Glock 19
be sharp.
is the poster child
And don't
for
let some
reliable,
smooth-talking
do-it-all
salesman
sidearms
guilt you
and
into
for
buying
damn
a
good
pistol
reason.
that looks cool on a
It's
flyer,
been the go-to
but falls
for
apart
lawmen,
in a real
everyday
fight.
folks, and
Test
weekend
it.
range hands.
Carry it.
Know it
For
like the
decades
back of
now,
your hand.
and it still runs
because
like
when
a
it
damn
matters,
champ.
fancy branding
You're getting
ain't
a
gonna rack the
compact
slide
frame
for you.
with a 4.02
Now I want to hear
inch
from
barrel
y'all and a 15 plus
Which
1
one's
capacity.
riding on your belt?
All chambered
Or
in
did we
9
skip
millimeter.
over your trusty
It's
steel
striker
partner
fired with a
altogether?
trigger that ain't exactly
Hit up
buttery,
the comments and
but
let's
it's
get the
steady
talk
and
rolling.
predictable. And when
Stick
you press
around.
that trigger, you won't believe
It just
what's
goes
coming
rain,
in the next video.
mud, sand.
Might be a classic.
It eats it
Might
all.
be a little wild.
and comes back asking
Either
for
way,
more.
it'll be worth every second of your trigger
I've seen
time.
Glocks run thousands
That's it
of
for now,
rounds,
brothers.
without
I'm out.
even blinking.
Catch y'all on the next one.
And I ain't talking about those internet torture tests. I'm talking real-world beatings, and it keeps kicking. One big reason the Glock 19 still owns the game is the aftermarket. You can turn this thing into whatever the hell you want. New slide, new barrel, new trigger, optic cut, laser, stipple job, the whole 9 yards. Or leave it bone stock, and it still holds its own like a champ. Folks love to hate on it because it's everywhere. But that don't mean it's dull. It means it's trusted. When someone asks me what pistol they ought to buy if they can only pick one, this is what I hand them. It ain't flashy, but it don't ever let you down. That's why it's the king. All right, boys. We've covered the heavy hitters, the quiet killers, and even a couple pistols that'll earn you side-eye from the Gucci gun crowd. But here's the truth. Every one of these sidearms earned its place the hard way. Not with glossy ads or tactical LARPing, but with grit, trust, and carrying through the dirt. From the Glock 19's plain, Jane toughness, to the P365's game-changing pocket power. These are the tools folks actually strap on when the world goes sideways. Maybe you're a revolver type. Maybe you swear by appendix carry. Either way, the goal's the same. Be ready, be trained, be sharp. And don't let some smooth-talking salesman guilt you into buying a pistol that looks cool on a flyer, but falls apart in a real fight. Test it. Carry it. Know it like the back of your hand. Because when it matters, fancy branding ain't gonna rack the slide for you. Now I want to hear from y'all. Which one's riding on your belt? Or did we skip over your trusty steel partner altogether? Hit up the comments and let's get the talk rolling. Stick around. You won't believe what's coming in the next video. Might be a classic, might be a little wild. Either way, it'll be worth every second of your trigger time. That's it for now, brothers. I'm out. Catch y'all on the next one.